Same gods, double Oranos with Loki, double Oranos with Ra. And this time everything seems to be fine, we are getting no error, so we are just going to be starting with having a look at our Wolf, who is going to be playing in a pocket, so nice position for him, and that's a very deep pocket. He's literally in the corner with one TC in there all together, so yep, that's definitely a very nice defensible position for him. Usually in the pocket, you are having at least one down center towards the middle, especially in team games. Well, especially in team games. In normal games, you are having just on the left and on the right, so of course, in team games. But otherwise, definitely will be curious game. Especially I'm going to be looking at Vulki on the left side, who is going to be playing against Armani. So, Loki against Dra, so basically the different gods in there. Whereas on the right and in the middle, it's going to be the mirror of all the Oranosis in the game. Well, we are seeing pretty decent spawn of zebras, of course, so that's kind of usual for the Oasis lately, and already a bit of scouting going on through the oracles, and he has already found that there's going to be giraffe together with gazelle and a few extra, like the lion in there, just getting into the darkness, and a few berries in here as well. So far, pretty much a decent map for all players involved, and looking at the town centers, kinda curious right now for that. Well, no, not really, because obviously this is his front. I was just for a moment thinking that actually this is the front of his, and he's going to be playing with the team at the bottom, but no, that's not the case. This is the town center for Kader, and the one on the right is for Libertine, and this definitely seems a bit more important, or actually both are reasonably important in strategical sense, but this one seems slightly more useful, as it's towards the middle of the map, and of course towards the middle between the players, so definitely one that will be pretty much hard fought over and for, and Libertine is already scouting in the middle and try to basically see if maybe his opponent is gonna go for something funny, but all three oracles right next to the opponent definitely telling you that you might be wanting to go for some really standard Valord oracles raiding, and let's see if that's going to be the case in here in this game. Yellow is pretty much arriving next to the opponent as well. Gonna get a few shots from the town center, exactly as his opponents did. You could have already seen the guy in there. Oh, yeah, those pirouettes are not going to help you. Help you to the grave, that yeah. But otherwise, kinda sucks. And well, in the middle, of course, Dornets with Arulf also scouting the pocket players. And this is actually a very nice spawn because we are having the double. Sometimes you get the 4 Oasis, but this is of course going to be making for one big wall in the middle. And otherwise, this is basically going to hard divide the pocket player either to the left or to the right. So let's see what's going to be the unit, or rather the side of choice, because of course you'd be expecting at least for Team Mystic that Vulki will be playing alone. He's basically easily the best player in this game, and he's going to be facing against Armani, against the Egyptian, which might be really kind of hard for him to attack, but he's facing Loki, and Loki can usually make quite some damage even against the Egyptians. So yeah, let's see about that. I would be kind of expecting that maybe Dornets would be kinda hoping to go to the left and help his Egyptian teammate actually withstand the early pressure, whereas I'm fairly certain that Arwolf should be coming to the right to help his teammate in there with a bit of fighting in the early game. So we are at 3 minutes, so we should be seeing temples pretty soon, or already basically being made. So far from yellow, not. Already a bit of scouting right now through the spy, as they're exactly at the very same hunt. Interesting, and even more being sent in, and well, he does have some hunt right next to himself, which definitely would be a bit more optimal, because right now he did have very long walk time all the way to the top, so definitely not ideal, and he will have to fall back in there as well. But at the same time, he probably will be at least stealing a few foodies, rather a few food from his opponent. So Hendak's coming up together with 50% Prometheus. Just now finishing with the temple, and after this village, okay, they will be advancing as well, but it's going to be really quite late. It's going to be like 5:15, 5:20, not really ideal, and definitely supporting the idea that Arwolf, who is already 50% in already, will be forcing to help his teammate pretty soon in there. 60% for Seti on the left for Loki, nothing right now for Armani. Almost looking like that it's going to be 2 TC faster heroic or some such. 70% into Oranos' second god here as well, and that's pretty much it so far. So yep, oracles all across the map, with some goatees also. So definitely so far not really sure where it's gonna be helping, so kinda curious as well as he's coming for counter barracks right inside his base, which is really usual and will slow down his potential for help to his teammates. So military counter, so that's 1-1 for each. 60% in here for the yellow. Shockwave being cast by Libertine because he definitely wants to catch both of those villagers and kill them. Oh yeah, a bit of a problem with the pathing as he was selecting both of them. If he selected just the one, he would be avoiding all those dances in there. But yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard in the press of the moment to make something happen in there. Unfortunately, Shockwave doesn't work on heroes. So yeah, that's that. But he got homes into safety fast enough, but was it actually fast enough? Because he wasn't still prepared, as he just now advanced through Prometheus with some military buildings. So that's going to be counterbarracks for him first, as it definitely should be. And right now he should be deploying the villagers. Because at this point the red player is just now concentrating on the tower, and it will be taking him a bit of time. Yeah, he's at least using the diversion in here. And the yellow guy, well, he's so close to death. And he is dead. He is dead. Very well played by Libertine. And of course, that was a result of the very greedy gathering of food right next to your opponent, and not really being a bit safer right next to your home base. So that's something that Kater paid for. Losing the tower, actually pretty decent spot in here. It was protecting the way inside his base. This one is also pretty important. And if he's going to be losing it as well before getting upgrades for the tower, well then, not really all that great, all that much. In the meantime, we are fighting also on the left, at least Wolki is fighting in there, and apparently Arwolf is going to be joining with him, but I'm fairly certain, looking at the minimap, that he's already helping his yellow teammate, as he definitely should, and also going for a bit of first scouting, maybe later a bit raiding. 2 lions, not a bad relic for an engagement as this, as those guys will be trying to find something to kill, and potentially to allow raiding with Turmas by Arwolf. Coming into the Aegis, of course, is going to be always hard, because of the 3 towers, which is exactly what I was talking about a bit earlier. That Wolki, really, even though he can do damage against an Egyptian, with some extra support by Dornets, it's really going to be pretty hard. And looking how Dornets is helping on the right as well, with pretty decent army, it's kinda hard to see how Kader will be able to withstand this pressure without significant help from Arwolf. But Arwolf is already thinking about it, as we have seen a minute ago, and, well, just a bit of shame that he's losing all the towers before he actually gets to research them. They would have been such a huge help into his defensive efforts. Already a bit of Radiant right now, but Dornet's right on top of it. Nice scouting of the town center so that he sees when his opponents, or rather, yeah, when his opponents are coming for a bit more economy than would be expected. And well, of course, there are with the second TC also exactly as expected, so not really any kind of surprises so far in here all that much. Not much of an attack in here, just having a bit of fun with the wall, potentially getting some free favor for that basically. And well, of course, green is going to be forcing him off, as the Axemen are exactly the unit against the Herseers. In the meantime, yellow with the support by teal, he is getting forward into a bit of a push on red. So basically, yeah, Empire Strikes Back right now. Oh, and even upgrade onto Prometheans, oh well. Alluvial clay for better hit points. Well, that's interesting and not really often see, as rain is right now falling down on the dry oasis, and it might be a signal that actually blue will have to retreat. He definitely doesn't have anything all that much left. He has probably lost everything already. There was a blue blob actually. And he's here. He has moved back, killed a few Turmas, and is coming through full on defense of his red teammate, as red so far doesn't seem to be really ready to follow up on the early pressure, and he's having pretty significant problems with this army. Kinda unexpected indeed in here. Oh, that's well played by Wolki. That's well played right into the pocket. Right into Dornets and killing his economy, because of course, since he cannot do anything all that significant against green, who is quite nicely walled, already finishing to basically close it up, unless he's still whole. And on the left, of course. But yeah, he seems to be quite nicely prepared for the faster heroic, and Armani definitely will be one of the more important players in the game, as Wolki is already working on actually walling himself in, because of course, heroic from Ra, what does it mean? Chariot archers. So he definitely needs to be protected against that before that happens, as building it when it happens is a bit too late. Chariot archers against Herseers, yeah, you can kinda guess the result of that. In the meantime, Teal just sending absolutely everything to the right. This is going to be probably a pretty hard pressure on Libertine. And he's definitely not having the army to deal with that, even with the reinforcements. And it's almost looking like that it might be a front trickle. Dornet's already sending armies in there, whereas Green still not, because Vulki still does have at least a few units on the left. Basically just keeping his opponent busy. But it's not going to be lasting for much longer, as of course. Well, there's going to be greed for the town centers and run with the chariot archers pretty soon. But first, in the moment, we are having the fight on the right, of course, still going on. Dornet sending a bit more army in there, and that was very good shockwave. Very good shockwave right on top of the tower, sending absolutely all the Burmills flying. And that wasn't a pretty great fight for him, so he retreated as to not lose unnecessary units to all those Turmas. But with the help from Yellow, he should be pretty much fine reasonably soon. Red in the meantime also still raiding. And killing a villager. Oh, 67 hit points left on the manor. And he couldn't just finish with his safety. With his safety deposit, let's say. That's pretty sad. Second village dead for Kader in the early game, but so far he doesn't seem to be really minded all that much as Bragi is in for Vulki as the first heroic, or second, after Armani of course. And Yellow already coming in for a few villages as well, but unfortunately he's under pretty decent fire in here from both the town centers and the towers, so nothing really that would be working into his advantage all that much. In the middle, Blue, decent army. Not decent enough to actually withstand two opponents, and Teal doing a pretty great job right now of walling himself. So that's definitely a bit of a team communication in there, or team communication. We don't see all that much of a chat, and I don't expect they are actually on TeamSpeak or anything like that, or Skype. So that's going to be just Teal seeing what his ally is doing, and doing as well. Definitely great idea, because it's needed quite a lot. And in the meantime, Green actually is advancing forward on the TCs. He's getting the front of his. Oh well, that's going to be a problem for Vulki actually. And I'm fairly certain that Vulki isn't actually thinking it's going to be that much of a problem as it's aiming to be. That's going to be Siege Workshop, of course. As on the left, he's just basically controlling the town center. And he might be coming for it pretty soon as well, as right now Vulki is just scouting in there. That's going to be it, but he is otherwise going for a bit of raiding. Stopping the town center from Libertine. Yeah, because of the spy. Oh, and the spy is actually right now on Hero Villager. So that's going to be lasting for quite some time. Unfortunate for Libertine in there, quite a lot. And definitely curious how this is going to develop, because this TC is not coming up. Does Vulki potentially have enough resources? Yes, he does. Yes, he does, as we are looking... Oh, goddammit, where did it go? At Locust killing 4 villagers, not bad. Not bad, and considering that Vulki is really going to be facing pretty big pressure very soon. This missing gold might be a pretty significant issue for him actually, as he's coming for there. Interesting. He is defended, but not really all that well. And not having any kind of upgrades in there. And where is his next gold? Well, back where he actually was. And of course the Petsukos is just now waiting in there. But yeah, Knut Bloodwasher should be getting rid of it. Yeah, he's the hero that's needed, but well, with all the reinforcements. Oh man, this is going to be even way worse than he probably thought. A very lucky spot with the Valkyrie. But still, all those chariot archers clean all the gold economy for Vulki. Even though he finishes with the town center, the wall or the tower is just getting finished. And it might be actually pretty crucial, as even though the triple army in here is pretty strong, I'm fairly certain that Vulki will have to retreat with absolutely everything. It's going to be a combination of flaming weapons and Fimbul Winter. But he needs a bit more army for that. This is not really enough. Or enough. It actually could be enough, because it's not like Dornets is having some kind of huge army inside his base. So it still would be effective, and he's probably going for it. Yes, he is. It's not like there's any kind of counterplay like ceasefire. But 15 cents for Armani potentially could have been a problem. And right now, not really all that much. So let's see how much of a damage Arwolf with Vulki will be able to deal to their opponents. In the meantime, Arwolf is at 3 TCs. Okay, they're at 2. Dornet's Libertine at 1. But Armani is going to be at 4, because he's still in the front from Vulki. If you have a look on the left side on the minimap. As you'll see, continuing to raid in there. And well, 5... Yes, he's going to be 15 cents on the flaming weapons, guys. Or at least should be from Armani. Oh, it's maybe not even going to be needed. But I will do it. He should be really shifting sand in part of the purple army. Right next to the town center and the Migdol, basically somewhere here. Just kill it. And help your teammate, because of course the reinforcements, even though they are coming from Libertine, they might be even coming from Yellow, and much more importantly, Yellow is just now in the opponent's army, and even though he's basically just trying to turtle as much as possible, he might be disrupting the economy like this, and maybe killing a few villages in there. So yeah, not really all that optimal. Not all that optimal, and the shifted sands could have been quite a big help to his teammate, but yeah, in the end, it would just have been actually making the job a bit easier, and it wasn't really all that tough to begin with. In the meantime, Teal just having a bit of raiding in here, nothing really all that effective, as we are moving finally into Wulki's base, as even though he's mythic, he doesn't have the upgrades yet, and of course Migdol being dropped to next to gold, and the fortified TCs from Armani. Yep, that's a pretty big problem, because of course he's basically camped in front of Wulki's base, and since Wulki is just at 2 TCs and not really looking that he could be getting something extra, and he might be losing this TC sometime soon. Well, let's not be hasty, because Red is having significant problems and will be needing significant help from Blue as well, but the Blue is still fighting against some of the myth units and against the Teal. So yep, there's still a pretty good window of opportunity, as Purple is rebuilding himself in the front, that Yellow might be actually able to finish with this Red opponent. Okay, that I'm coming for third. Otherwise, it's pretty much it in here. As the push, yep, Hillfort is going to be dead pretty soon, and the Yaros, yeah, that's not really going to work out. You can already see that Armani is also pumping out some cavalry on top of his usual army, the Chariot Archers. But really, not any kind of upgrades from either side, and the towers are going to be the response from Armani as well, to help him secure the position on the left in full. But he will definitely want to establish trade, he already has it. But with the raid in there from Deal, that might actually be a bit of a problematic situation for him. But he has pretty much nice map control. 1 gold, 2nd gold, 3rd, stealing from his opponent, and then at the back there are 2 gold mines, so yep, scratch that, not really problems at all. Even if he didn't have any kind of trade, he would be just fine with all he has. Sure, you already... I don't exactly understand why he's producing siege towers. And he could be getting at least a few catapults, even though siege towers, of course, they are good counters to Turmas, basically. And he's basically using them also as a bit of a unit against the normal infantry and such. But still, catapults are having just such a huge range, and since your opponent needs to get somehow to them, it usually makes him play slightly less efficiently than against those siege towers, because siege towers, yeah, you can just melee them. They need to be next to the building, so it's easier to defend. But the catapults, they are a pain. And of course, always a bit more efficient. It's almost looking like that he's actually having auto queue. And haven't switched yet. Well, it's not like it matters with the extra Migdol and this defensive position for him. In the meantime, what we mustn't forget is that Wulki is actually still rebuilding in the middle. As Kader is coming through Teia. That's the first Oranos? Not really. Dornets is already in. Arwolf is already in. So just Libertine is being behind. But I would be expecting not really for much longer, as Arwolf is coming through Hecate. So that's going to be tartaring it some very useful. And I would fully expect that it might be coming into the trade somewhere next to the blue player. Right about here. That actually would be pretty nice. Both the trade next to the town center, stopping food economy in there. Yep, that could work. That could work, and that would be a nice position for placing a tartaring gate in there. Dornet's doing what he can, but apparently without upgrades, it's proving a bit troublesome for him. Yellow having copper weapons, and Teal, well, heavy and baseline of upgrades. Not bad. Not bad, as the left side seems to be basically slowly losing. Wulki being dropped just 1 town center, but he's taking 1 at the back, or actually 2 at the back. He's taking 2 at the back, so he's going to be at 3 pretty soon, so he's definitely not giving up at all. And he still seems to be having quite a decent economy, even though not really on the left side, but of course that's going to be a big danger. Being discovered exactly like this, nicely played by Armani, and much more importantly, Armani getting extra town centers. He's already switching into war elephants. And the more town centers a boomed Egyptian has, the closer you are to actually losing. Unless it was actually a game like last week, where unfortunately more couldn't finish in a pretty great placement and position on the map. That was a bit of a shame, but definitely you mustn't underestimate superior players like Absolats. and you definitely need to play your fullest the whole duration of it. But yeah, Donetsk right now is resigning. What? That took me aback a bit. Is he like not following what's happening on the left with Armani? I'm fairly certain, even though Armani is right now continuing, that Armani won't be really happy with this resign. Yeah, right now they are talking about that. That's weird. Even though Libertine lost on the right, I can see the reasoning for it, because without Libertine, it's not like Vulki was dead. Vulki was just going to be strength or other strong yet again. Right now, Tildo was fully engaged on the left, and he was having significant problems against the Egyptian. So it would be basically like half Vulki and yellow. Well, I think this is a bit early. Maybe after this TC was finished, then possibly, because that would be stopping the trade altogether. But before that, not sure. But yeah, the Tartaringa cast exactly as I expected, a bit more to the north. We'd be expecting it to the south to block the trade. But still, very interesting game indeed. And well, Vulki's perseverance was actually correct, and he was very right not to panic and resign or anything. Definitely knew what he was doing. And even though Armani was just pushing him so strong, he was able to survive long enough, and with his teammates they were able to deal with threat. And that was exactly what tilted the opponents into a resign. But still, definitely think a bit early in there. Would have given a bit of a chance to the teammate Armani to make something happen, as the very nicely boomed and soon to be 5TC Egyptian. That definitely could have worked for them. Well, no matter. No matter, as that didn't happen, and that means the TMs are leading in the match 1-0. You can see that Vulki didn't have any kind of significant army. He was really on the ropes, pretty much even with the town centers. He was having just 40 villages. We were at 20 minutes, that's just kinda sad economy. But of course, that's because he lost his main base. Well, no matter, GG.